Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field on the campus of Columbus State University. It is a Friday afternoon, just about set for the first pitch. A little bit chillier than it was yesterday, if you remember, 73 degrees on our opening day first pitch yesterday, and today all of a sudden it's dropped down to 56 with heavy clouds, heavy air, and we'll see how the ball will be able to, if it will be able to, carry out at all today, because in BP it looked like it was not going far whatsoever. A big one today, it is game 2 of our 3-game series against Erskine, as Columbus State University came away with the 3-0 shutout win in yesterday's opening day match. A fantastic performance by the starting pitcher, and we've got another great pitching matchup here on the mound this afternoon with Brandon Kaler taking the mound for the CSU Cougars. Kaler, one of the experienced players for Columbus State University, coming in here as a senior. The righty was an all-conference player last season, went 10-1 on the year, pitching 91 innings and coming up with 68 strikeouts as well. Held a good opponent's batting average on top of that. We'll see if we can follow up the shutout win yesterday with another fantastic pitching performance with the all-conference pitcher on the mound this afternoon. As far as the starters go for the visiting Flying Fleet, we have the exact same lineup out there. The only change is instead of Menchaca at second base and batting in the 8 hole, it will be the freshman, William Ruby, number 2. We'll see him later on, hopefully not too soon. So up first, Davey, the third baseman, rips one into left field. That one's going to carry all the way back to the wall, hits the gap, and back out there in left field for the Cougars is Turner Vincent, a leadoff double on just the second pitch of the game. Well, just like that, a runner in scoring position for the Flying Fleet. Quick opportunity for them with Kaler on the mound. So Davey over on second base. It's Chaz Davey at the plate right now. Trevor Wood swinging and missing on that first pitch. Trevor Wood, the sophomore transfer from Georgia Southern, hit .280 last season to go along with 29 runs. Just one hit to go along with the walk in yesterday's 3-0 loss. Wood showing bunt, pulled back, and it's 1-1. Well, Cucci was able to get out of a jam early for the Cougars on the mound in yesterday's game, and now Kaler is going to have to try and do the same as that ball is popped up, tracking back at the backstop, and just over it and out of play. Catcher for the Cougars, Delavie, giving chase on that one. Nothing happening there. 1-2 now the count. The lefty in his stance. Wood swings at that one. Hard chopper foul there, just outside the first base line. This is the second game of a 3-game series. Again, the final and third game is tomorrow afternoon at noon. Make sure you join us here at the ballpark. Cougars took 2 out of 3 games against Erskine last season to open up the year, and already have one under their belt after yesterday. Kaler throws back to second, and diving back there safely was Davey. 1-2 the count. No outs. Davey had the leadoff double. Still on second. Kaler delivers. Wood rips that one into right field, giving chase is Miles Cameron, and not able to come up with the grab there. It just nicked off the ground and safely over on second base. A double for Wood. Only advancing a third, though, was Davey. It looked like it was out, but the other ump said that it had bounced. Well, now we're going to have a little bit of a discussion here, and from my angle, it sure looked like Miles Cameron. I originally called it an out. It looked like he had dove and scooped that just before it had nicked the ground, and now they're going to rule him out. So there's the call right there from the home plate umpire. Runner is ruled out. Davey advanced over to third. So what a play by Miles Cameron, the freshman out there in right field. He had a fantastic grab in yesterday's game as well, giving chase, covering a lot of ground, and he had to do so again early in this one. Fonts now at the plate. One down, but a runner over on third base. That's Davey, and that ball inside almost nicked Fonts there, and it looks like it did. Just getting his elbow as that ball came across the plate. Fonts hit by a pitch. Kaler in a big jam here. Only one down, and now runners on the corners for the Flying Fleet. So again, Miles Cameron came up with that diving grab. Tagging up and advancing over to third base was Davey. So we got all that sorted out. But on the first pitch right after, Fonts hit, and he's now over on first base. Oh, on the count. Chris Rave at the plate. Rave, the senior out of Milltown, New York. Wasn't able to get anything going in yesterday's loss. He actually was hit by a pitch. He pops that one up, skies it, and giving chase is Gunnar Drennan, the third baseman, and he bobbles it and can't come up with the grab. Trying to advance over to second, but an easy out there. And again, Gunnar Drennan normally played shortstop at Community College down at Wallace State. Played a little bit of second base. Third base wasn't his position for the past 2 years, but Greg Appleton felt comfortable with him over there on third base, but unable to make the grab there on that pop-up. 2 outs, though. No damage done. Destin Nichols now at the plate. That ball skipped over to home plate, and a fantastic job by Delavy to keep that in play and in front of him to prevent Davey from coming home. Rave, though, goes over to second base. Boy, not the cleanest of innings, but an opportunity here for Kaler to get out of it. 2 on in scoring position. 1-0 the count. Ripping that one into center field, but it's going to go right over to Fichter, who comes up with the grab. Well, that's a huge positive sign for the Cougars. Kaler hitting a batter, giving up a hit, but still getting out of the jam without any runs crossing the plate. 0 up on the top frame of the first. You're watching Cougar Baseball. Well, back here at Columbus State University, 0-0. Cougars got out of the jam. There were 2 runners on in scoring position for the Flying Fleet, but unable to plate any of their runners as Kaler gets out of the jam. Kaler did have 20 wild pitches last season for the Cougars, and you saw one there which advanced the runner from first over to second base, but eventually able to escape that without any damage done. 0 up on the scoreboard as we enter the bottom frame of the first. Zach Bowers on the mound for the Flying Fleet this afternoon. Bowers, a junior out of Lugoff, South Carolina. He actually came here not as a transfer to Erskine, but straight out of high school last year. A 2.77 ERA, went 6-1 overall with 2 complete games. He's only given up 3 total home runs in his pitching career here at Erskine, a very positive sign. Up at the plate, Justin Evans, the shortstop. An opportunity to bounce back from his game yesterday. He had started 0 for 3, but he came up with a big hit that eventually saw him cross the plate. Ball low and outside, 1-0. Evans sends that one foul. Evans hitting just .212 last season. Really worked on his contact and his ability to try and prevent striking out, and that was actually one of the things that Greg Appleton talked about post-game yesterday. As pleased as he was with the overall performance, wants the batters to be a lot more patient. Too many strikeouts as Evans skies that one over to center field, and Chase Watts gets right underneath it. Yeah, the ball is not really carrying whatsoever. Heavy air today. A lot chillier of temperatures. You're talking about 17, 18 degree difference from yesterday's temperatures. Gunnar Drennan wasn't credited with any or charged with any error there. It was just a regular fielder's choice. So he got the runner out at second base. A strike on the inside there, 1-1. Drennan showed bunt. That's .326 last season over at Allen County Community College. Second team all-conference member out of Kansas. Had a fantastic game yesterday as he sends that one into foul territory out by the Erskine bullpen. A double, a triple, 2 hits yesterday for Drennan. 1-2 the count, 1 down, no one on the base paths. Drennan swings and misses at that one, and that's the first strikeout of the afternoon for the Cougars. We just talked about Coach Greg Appleton wanting the batters to be a lot more patient. Not have the strikeouts that they had yesterday. They finished with 9 of them in yesterday's 3-0 win. Definitely something to improve upon. Tyler Fichter at the plate now. One of the key returners for the Cougars this season. One of the only returners as far as positional players go. Talking about almost a brand new lineup for Columbus State this season. They lost so many hitters, and very good ones at that. Fichter, though, returns, and looks at a ball there, 2-1. One for 3 yesterday with an RBI. It was a ground out RBI. Fichter 2-2. Umpire has to shake that one off. That one went right at him. Says he's all right. Gives the catcher a little tap on the shoulder. Destin Nichols telling him what happened there. Boy, that's a quick little shake off by our home plate umpire. 2-2. Victor right over to the shortstop. Nothing happening right there for Kyle Heiss. 3 up, 3 down. Zeros up on the scoreboard after 1. You're watching Cougar Baseball on CSU TV. Zeros after 1 here at Ragsdale Field. Brennan Kaler back on the mound. See if he can improve upon that first inning. Gave up 1 hit. Had a wild pitch as well. Up first, Billy Ryan. 2 home runs and a double through just 2 games this season. Kaler actually pitched against Erskine last year. It was the 3rd game of the season. So he's stepping up in a game here. He pitched a complete game, though. It was a 7-inning game. Doubleheader that they played that game. Team won 15-2, with Kaler giving up just 2 earned while striking out 3. Only threw 73 pitches as well. So a great performance against this Erskine team that actually returns a lot of their same hitters, as that one is flared over to the second baseman, and Barry gets the out over at first. Good start to the top frame of the second.
The shortstop, number 40, Kyle Heiss.
Kyle Heiss at the plate now, shortstop. That pitch outside, 1-0. Kaler delivers, swinging and sending that one towards the CSU dugout. One the count. Heiss, same spot again. Chops that one foul, 1-2. Cougars have 4 games here at home at Ragsdale Field before they hit the road. Don't have to hit the road until February 11th. Got the game against Erskine today, tomorrow, and then against West Georgia on the 9th. Again, that pitch inside and brushing back Heiss there. Already hit 1 batter. Two and two the count. Kaler delivers again, chopped foul. Staying alive is Heiss. He did have 2 of the 5 total hits in yesterday's loss. Went 2 for 3 for the Flying Fleet. Already down to the 7 hole here in just the second inning. Kaler delivers again inside on Heiss, brushing him back. Boys really getting close there. Full count, payoff pitch. Outside the zone, and taking first base is going to be Kyle Heiss. Again, another runner on the base paths for the Flying Fleet.
The second baseman, number 2, William Ruby.
William Ruby at the plate now. Just 30 walks last season overall for Brandon Kaler. Double the strikeouts. That pitch outside. Great play again by Delavy. Kaler is kind of bouncing all around the zone here early in this one, and Delavy's done a good job so far at picking everything up and staying with it. Heiss on first. 1-0 count. There goes Heiss. He's taking off. And the throw over to second base. Easily gunned down. What a play by Delavy. No chance there for Heiss. He's thrown out at second. Not even close. Heiss, 6 feet, 185. It's a little bit of speed, but what a play there by Delavy. The 1-1 pitch. Fouling that one back. Two down as Kaler and Delavy get rid of the runner on the base paths. Chance to once again get out with a clean inning in the run department. The 1-2 pitch. Back to the backstop it goes. Boy, we're all over the place right now with Delavy then overshooting Kaler there. Ruby, the freshman, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, comes to Erskine out of Porter Ridge High School. Again, Delavy having to keep that one in front of him. Full count. Despite the struggles, you got to still feel confident when you see a 0 up there in the run department. No one on the base paths here for Kaler. Full count pitch. Sending that one over to Justin Evans. Corrals it, throws it over to first, and that'll do it for the top of the second inning. Again, no damage done for Kaler after he put someone on the base paths. 0 still up on the scoreboard. You're watching Cougar Baseball. Bottom of the second here at Burger King Stadium. 0-0. Cougars back up at the plate.
Leading off for the Cougars, the second baseman, number 2,
Leading off, Grant Berry. Barry was 1 for 4 in yesterday's win. Did strike out a couple times. Bowers threw 14 pitches in that first inning. And a high chopper to the first baseman. Can't handle it. Throw over to first, and he just got Barry. Wow, a great hustling play right there from Zach Bowers to get all the way over to first in time. So mishandled by Henry Fonts, but still able to get the out.
The first baseman, number 8, Mason McClellan.
Mason McClellan at the plate, if you remember yesterday, hit that sky home run. Ball was hit as high as it could be and eventually went over the left field wall out there. Starting off his Cougar career with a home run. Went right at that one, was swinging right for the fences again. 1-1 the count. McClellan coming to the Cougars from Charleston Southern. Pitch sent into foul territory. Hit just a combined 4 home runs in his 2 seasons at the JUCO level out of McDonough, Georgia. One, two, fouled off. Hart on deck. McClellan right up the middle. It's going to go straight to the center fielder. Only had to take a couple steps. That was Chase Watts. Easy out made there for Erskine, and we're already flying right through this one. Like we talked about, the heavy air, the ball's not quite carrying like it did in yesterday's game. Lake Hart at the plate. First time today, he went 1 for 3 yesterday, but also picked up a strikeout, one of the 9 for the Cougars. 0-2, he's in a quick hole already. 2 down, no one on. That pitch well outside, never broke across the plate. Hart skies that one, and he's eventually going to hook foul. Bowers didn't pitch against CSU in Erskine's 3-game series last year, as Hart sends that one right to Heiss, who makes the throw over to first. Again, no damage done there. 3 up, 3 down for the Cougars. Zeros after 2. Zero zero after 2 as we start the top of the 3rd here at Ragsdale Field. Chase Watts will be leading things off for the Flying Fleet. See if Kaler can turn things around here. He's had a little bit of a shaky start, but no runs have crossed the plate. Ultimately, that's what matters as There's zeros up on the scoreboard. Watts at the plate. Watts, the junior outfielder, second team all-conference member as he shows bunt there. Charging up is Drennan. Great play right there by Drennan, and digging it out was McClellan. Drennan got there in plenty of time. Had a little bit of a low throw, but heads-up play from McClellan to dig that one out.
The third baseman, Chaz Davey.
One quick out. Chaz Davey, top of the lineup, back around. Davey, one swing again. Drennan out there, making the throw over the first base. Gunnar Drennan. Looks like he woke up a little bit after he dropped that pop-up.
The right fielder, Trevor Wood.
Two quick outs. That's what we like to see with Kaler on the mound. See if we can get a 3-up, 3-down here. That's been the story for the Cougars bats so far, but exact opposite for the Flying Fleet. Pitch outside, 1-0. No one on the base paths. Two ground outs to Drennan to start the top frame of the third. Kaler delivers, and that one's well foul. One and one the count. There's a strike right down the pipe, 1-2. Chance here to get a strikeout to end the inning. Kaler delivers, and that one is hit into the gap in right center field. Giving chase was Miles Cameron. Off the wall, the throw over to second base, not quite in time. Almost able to gun down Wood as he was trying to advance over to second base. So a runner on the base paths again. Third straight inning for the Flying Fleet. They had runners on the corners in the first. A runner on first that was thrown out at second in the second. And now they've got another runner in scoring position here over on second base with two down. Swinging and missing at that one was Fonts. Fonts, not the guy you want to see at the plate with the runner in scoring position. He's a first-team all-conference and all-region player. One of the best players in the entire Southeast region. Hit just under 400 last year. 396, and that pitch inside, and it hits Fonts, and he's going to go take his base. Fonts, for the second time this afternoon, has been hit by a pitch. So two at-bats for Fonts. Twice he's been hit. Now 2 on with 2 down. Rave chops that one up the middle. That's going to get through the hole. A chance to score a runner here. Center fielder comes up on it. Victor isn't going to be able to make the throw home, and we've got our first run of the game. Erskine strikes first. An RBI single from Rave. So 1-0, the Flying Fleet on top. It's their first run here in this series after they were shut out in yesterday's loss. They put up 19 runs in their opening day match against Voorhees College. As Destin Nichols is at the plate. Nichols fouls that one back. So Kaler's given up 3 hits, has hit a couple batters. And now 1 run. Rave looks at a called strike there. Looked a little outside. This is the 14th batter that Kaler has faced in the top of the 3rd. Kaler delivers. That one hit over to Drennan. Drennan makes the easy throw over to second, and there is the 3rd and final out. Not without a little bit of damage done. 1 run crosses the plate for the Flying Fleet. They're up 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. One zero the score. Erskine on top of Columbus State as we enter the bottom of the 3rd. Kaler having a little bit of trouble out there on the mound. Has already gone through 14 batters in just 3 innings, giving up 3 hits, a run, a walk, and he's hit Henry Fonts twice.
Leading off for the Cougars, the right fielder, number 14.
All right, we'll see if the bats can turn things around. Miles Cameron, who already made a fantastic grab out in right field, and we'll see if the great defense can lead to some offense here for Cameron. That pitch inside called strike. Cameron 1 for 3 in yesterday's game. Picked up a walk as well. 0-1, just outside, 1-1. Cameron, Delavy, and Vincent, the 3 coming up, and that ball just broke right back across the plate there. 1-2. Cameron hits that one into deep right center field. That one's going to drop in the gap, goes all the way back to the wall. Cameron's going to have a stand-up double to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. There it was. The defense leads the offense. Cameron coming through for the Cougars. No outs and a runner on second.
The catcher, number 33, Bryce Delavy.
Big opportunity here for the Cougars to at least tie this one. Delavy at the plate. He's already been doing a lot of work with protecting that plate in the catching position. Cameron on second. Bowers giving a long look to him. Laying down the bunt there and perfectly placed. Everyone's going to be safe. What a play there by Delavy. Can't position that bunt much better than that. Turner Vincent at the plate. Don't forget yesterday's heroics Vincent in his first at-bat as a member of Columbus State University. Jacked one out past the scoreboard in right field. Was swinging for the fences on that first pitch. 0-1. Runners on the corners. Cameron on third, Delavy on first. Vincent looks at a ball low there, 1-1. Vincent coming out of Wallace State Community College down in Hansville. Hit over 300 in both of his years down there. 1-1 the count. Just painting the corner there, 1-2. Cougars down 1. Vincent at the plate. Evans on deck. Vincent swinging and missing at that one. No contact made as he'll walk back to the dugout. Strikeout recorded for Bowers. Just the second strikeout so far, but one that came in a timely manner for the Flying Fleet. Let's see if Evans can try and knock one home here. Did so, was able to score in yesterday's win. One of the 3 runs to come across the plate. He was sent home on a ground out RBI from Fichter. Cameron has a chance to do the same if Evans can put it in play. And he does right there, and it's going to be a single for Evans. Holding up on second is Delavie. The RBI comes through. We're all tied up at 1. Justin Evans picking up his first RBI of the season. Finished with 20 of them last year. And gets on the board here. Well, we already saw one player come through with the leather and then the offense. That was Cameron, and we'll see if Drennan can do the same after his great play, back-to-back plays over on third base. Runners on first and second as Drennan fouls that one back. Dead heat right now on the scoreboard. 1-1. Both teams with 3 hits. Both runs scored in the 3rd inning. Drennan, no RBIs yesterday despite hitting a double and a triple. No runs either. Double would definitely get him in the RBI column. Be his first as a Cougar. 0-1 count. Drennan softly rolls that one over to the shortstop. Over to second, back to first, not in time. Drennan safe at first. Runners on the corners, but Evans is out at second. Two down now for the Cougars. Bowers trying to get out of this one without giving up any more runs. One has already come through for the Cougars. Now they've got Delavie on third, Drennan on first. Fichter flew out in his first at-bat. Looks at a ball there, a little bit high, 1-0. Fichter, 10 doubles, 29 RBIs last season for the Cougars. Looks at another ball outside, 2-0. Chance for the Cougars to take their first lead of the game. Showed bunt, pulled back, called strike on the inside. And the catcher Nichols go out and have a word with Bowers. Bowers a 2.77 ERA last season. In 55 and a third inning, he only walked 12 batters while striking out 45. A 2-1 count. Outside, 3-1. Victor drew 20 walks last season. In fact, he's drawn at least 20 walks in all 3 of his collegiate seasons. 2021 and 23. Patient hitter. And the 3-1 count. Rips at that one. High chopper over to the second baseman, who makes the third and final out as Bowers gets out of the jam with runners on the corners. 1-1 though our score as the Cougars tie it up. So we head to the top of the 4th on CSU TV. We head to the top of the 4th. A run comes across the plate for the Cougars in the bottom of the 3rd as they tie this one up at 1 apiece. There's a tying run of run support there as Kaler's back on the mound. Kaler out of Eaton, Colorado. And Billy Ryan at the plate for the Flying Fleet as he hits that one foul. Kaler got below average run support last season, yet he still went 10-1 overall. So the Cougars didn't hit as well when he was on the mound, but still picking up the victories. An impressive year from Kaler last season, the all-conference member. Still went 10-1. Little run support so far from both teams, and this one, just one apiece with 3 hits each. Right now, an 0-2 count to Billy Ryan. Down the third base line, goes foul. Cougars, one of the highest scoring teams in the entire nation last season, 9.60 runs per game. Batting average of 343. But right behind them, though, is Erskine at 342. Softly up the middle, and it gets through the hole. Evans can't get there in time. Fourth hit of the afternoon for Erskine. Not enough depth there, and it gets past both Barry and Evans, and now a runner on first with Heiss at the plate. Heiss fouls that one right back at us, 0-1. So a 3-game series here against the Cougars for Erskine, and then they'll go at Augusta for 1 game and then play Salem International back at their home field on February 10th and 11th. They've got a big road game stand while the Cougars will be here for their home game stand. That one slid just back across the plate, but missing the strike zone and barely missing Heiss. Again, Kaler's been coming close. He's already hit Fonts twice. close to nicking Heiss there. The 1-1 count. Over on first, Billy Ryan. 1-2. On deck, the freshman, the righty, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, William Ruby. This the second at-bat for the Erskine lineup. Heiss was walked in his first plate appearance, and then he was caught stealing second. Heiss, low pitch, corralled by Delavie, holds Ryan at first. Well, CSU scored their first run of the game yesterday in the third inning. They do so the same here this afternoon. 2-2 the count. Kaler looks over at Ryan on first. Kaler delivers. That pitch outside the zone, full count. Erskine 37-16 overall last season. Number 1 in Conference Carolinas. Came as a little bit of a surprise. They had their best performance in program history as that ball is skied in the left, traveling back towards the wall, and did it get over in fair territory? It did. Kyle Heiss barely over. Looked like that might have hooked foul, but it stayed fair. And Heiss picks up the 2-run home run. It's now 3-1. Erskine on top. That'll be Heiss's first home run as a member of Erskine. With a runner on first, Ryan scores 3-1 now. Well, a little bit of a different story here than when Kaler played Erskine last season. That one chopped over to Drennan, picks it up, and makes the throw over to first. Kaler went the complete game, giving up just 2 runs, picking up the win. Right now he's given up 3 already through 4. One out here in the top of the 4th. Chase Watts back at the plate. Watts grounded out to third, trying to lay a bunt down in his last at-bat. So Heiss coming through in a big way for the Flying Fleet. He was one of the leaders in yesterday's game, even though they didn't score any runs. Led them in hits with 2. And he's continuing it here this afternoon. That pitch inside, 1-1. Watts, another all-conference member for the Flying Fleet out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, second teamer. And he sends that one over the head of Drennan into left. Well, they're starting to get a hold of Kaler as he's kind of bounced all around the zone, and now making some contact is Erskine, and they've got another runner on the base paths. Bullpen is starting to warm up for the Cougars. 3-1 the score. Davey at the plate. Sends that one to Drennan. Chance here for a long double play. A quick throw over to first. Wow, a heads-up play there as Barry makes the throw over. Showing off a little bit of power there from his arm. Double play turn. They led the NCAA last year in double plays turned. Here they are again, getting out of a jam. 3-1 though, the score. Erskine plates 2 off the Heiss home run. Bottom of the fourth at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. Cougars trailing 3-1. Kyle Heiss going yard, just getting it in fair territory down the left field line. Well, the Cougars responded in the bottom of the third after falling down a run. We'll see if they can do the same here, now down 2. Barry, who just completed the double play, the top frame of the inning, gunning one over to first base at the plate now. 0 for 1 with the ground out. Was one of the returning hitters for the Cougars from last season as he sends that one into the hole for a single. Barry played in 28 games last year, hit .279. And there he is back on the base paths.
The first baseman, Mason McClellan.
Barry had 1 hit in yesterday's game as well. Not really a threat to steal. He did have 4 stolen bases last year. So Barry on first. McClellan at the plate. That pitch inside on him. 1-0. Throw back over to Barry to keep him close to the bag. 1-0 the count. McClellan, already homered in yesterday's win, sends that one hard hit past the diving third baseman. A hot shot there. No chance at that one for a diving Davy. And now 2 runners are on. Here we go, looking to respond already and answer back. The designated hitter, Lake Hart, at the plate. 1 for 3 with a strikeout in yesterday's win. Just like Kaler, now Bowers finds himself in a little bit of trouble. 2 on, no outs. Pitch outside. See if Hart has the green light to just swing away at this at-bat. Originally played down in South Georgia State College for his freshman and sophomore campaigns before coming up to CSU last year. Hart swings at that one, a hard hit into deep right center field. Tracking it down and unable to get it out there is Wood. Ball bounces off the wall there, and coming around to score is 1, and the Cougars cut the lead in half. So holding up on second base there is Barry. McClellan. McClellan there is at second base. On first, Lake Hart, and now Miles Cameron at the plate. Coach going to come out, have a little bit of a word with Bowers there. Their bullpen has already been warming up as well as the infield comes in on top of it. 3 straight batters reaching the base for the Cougars. Barry singled, McClellan with a single, and then ripping one into right was Hart. Picking up the RBI, Lake Hart. He had 36 RBIs last year in just 26 games for the Cougars. So really coming through with opportunities to hit batters home, and he showed why once again right there. Picking up that RBI and still having 2 runners on the base paths with no outs, and now Miles Cameron back at the plate. Cameron had that double to right center in his last at-bat. So here we go. Bowers is still out there. Cameron at the plate. 2 on and no outs, and the Cougars have already cut into the lead. Got the sun trying to shine through here on this cloudy afternoon. First pitch strike. Bowers taking his time. The 0-1 count. Cameron off the inside of his bat there and keeps it in play. It goes out to the right fielder. That's Wood, and all the runners are going to stay on their respective bases. And now we've got bases loaded for the Cougars. Bases loaded with Bryce Delavy coming up to the plate. Huge opportunity for Columbus State here. Chance to open this one up. Down 3-2 right now. Delavy singled to the shortstop off of a bunt in his previous at-bat. Just laid it down perfectly. Could really go for a perfectly positioned hit right here. That slid across the plate, 0-1. Got Cameron on first, Hart on second, McClellan on third. Bowers still on the mound, and Delavy down 0-1. Pitch, Delavy off the end of his bat. Third baseman can't quite corral it. Everyone's going to be safe again. Off the end of his glove for a diving Davy. This game's all tied up at 3 apiece. Well, the response in the bottom of the third for the Cougars to tie it up. Now they respond again here in the bottom of the fourth. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So 3-3 our score now here in the bottom of the fourth as we'll take a break. You're watching Cougar Baseball on CSU TV. Back here at Ragsdale Field, 3-3 our score. It's the bottom of the fourth. Columbus State has responded after Erskine took the 3-1 lead off the 2-run home run from Heiss. Cougars have 5 straight singles to start the bottom of the fourth. No outs still, and the bases are loaded for Turner Vincent. Left-handed batter is Vincent as they bring Noah Heintzman out of the bullpen for the Flying Fleet. He pitched in yesterday's game as well, coming out of the bullpen for Erskine. Heintzman went an inning, gave up 2 hits and an earned run while striking out 2 in yesterday's loss. He's the one that gave up that ground out RBI to Fichter. Meanwhile, we have bases loaded here in a crucial opportunity and situation. Vincent sits on the ball to start this at bat. Vincent out of Dothan, Alabama, played over at Northview High. He's ahead 1-0. Again, bases loaded for Vincent. Vincent down the third base line, stays fair. That's going to plate multiple runs for the Cougars. 2 already, and now they're going to hold up the runner on third. It's a 2 RBI double for Turner Vincent. Cougars take the lead 5-3. Vincent on second, Delavie on third. Cougars in front 5-3. And Evans back at the plate. Runs piling on here in the bottom of the fourth. That's 6 straight hits now for the Cougars. 5 singles and a double. Evans swinging and missing at that first pitch that was outside. Well, this was more of the type of game that we expected to start the season yesterday. Ended up being just a 3-0 shutout, and now we've already got 8 combined runs here, not even through 4. One on the count. Evans has 2 on in scoring position. Evans already picked up an RBI in his last at-bat. That tied it in just 1 inning ago. Evans skies that one, and it's fading towards foul territory and gets out of play there in the bullpen for Erskine. So top of the lineup here for the Cougars, as the batting has really picked up here in the past couple of innings. Another base knock could plate possibly 2 runs for the Cougars. They try and extend their lead. 4 runs already here in the bottom of the fourth. 6 straight hits. The 1-2 pitch. Evans off the end of his bat there. It's a slow roller over to the first baseman, Fonts. He's going to tag the base, and he just got there in time. Evans thought he was safe. Crowd thought so as well. A run still scores for the Cougars, extends the lead. Now 6-3. Evans thought he got there in time. He is one of the speedsters for the Cougars. Nonetheless, picks up the RBI on the ground out. 6-3, now the score as Vincent moves over to third, and Drennan at the plate. Still just the first out right there. That pitch in the dirt. Said he went around 0-1 the count on Drennan. Drennan a strikeout and a ground out in his first 2 at-bats. Had a double and a triple in yesterday's game. Oh, and 2. Vincent on third. Heinzman delivers it right up the gut. Heiss makes the throw over the first. Another run scores, though, for the Cougars. Now 7-3. So the RBI ground out, back-to-back RBI ground outs for the Cougars. All of those runners that were on the base when it was loaded when Heinzman came in have all come around to score now for Columbus State. Can't be upset about that whatsoever. Now 7-3. Cougars in front. 6 runs here in the bottom of the fourth. Victor comes up, base is empty, tries to lay down a bunt. There's going to be a hard play to make, and no play even made for Davey. It's a second bunt laid down perfectly for the Cougars in this one. One's been working on their bunts in BP. Can't get any better than that as Victor ran it down the first base line. 7-3, Victor on first. Heinzman still can't get out of this one for the Flying Fleet. This inning started with Barry singling through the left side. We've gone all the way around the lineup now with Barry back at the plate. 9 batters here in the bottom of the fourth. 6 runs scored already. 1-1 the count on Barry. Barry looks at a strike down Main Street. One and two the count now. Again, these two teams played some high-scoring games last season. 7-4 win for Erskine, and then a 9-8 and 15-2 wins for CSU. Looks like we're heading in that type of direction in this one, which you might have thought otherwise, but a lot of low line drive shots between these two teams. The 1-2 pitch. Barry sits on it, 2-2. Barry 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. Had a couple of strikeouts. Played sparingly in last season's 42-14 campaign. Cougars first overall in the Peach Belt Conference. First time they had won the regular season title since 2010. Right now the 2-2 count with 2 down is outside, full count. So Heinzman has already faced 4 batters since he came on in relief. Barry fouls that one back. So Bauer's official stats: 3 innings pitched, 6 earned, while giving up 8 hits. Only struck out 2. Went through 17 batters in 3 innings of work. Gave up 8 hits, but only 1 was an extra base hit. So 1 double and 7 singles given up by Bowers. There goes Victor, and thinking about it, did he go around? He did, and there's a 3rd strike for Barry. Also the 3rd strikeout for the Cougars in this one. Nonetheless, 6 runs scored in the bottom of the 4th after the Cougars picked up 6 straight hits. They now lead 7-3 after 4. 7-3 the score as we enter the 5th inning of action. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Cougars. First time we'll get to see Perez Knowles for Columbus State. Swinging and missing right there is also a pinch hitter that's coming to the game, A.J. Fabrizio. So a couple of changes out there as Fabrizio takes over Wood's spot in right field. So Kaler's afternoon is complete for the Cougars with Knowles coming out of the bullpen. Kaler finishes with 4 innings pitched, giving up 3 earned, scattering 6 hits, no strikeouts, a walk, and hit 2 batters as well. That was Fonts both times. Fabrizio out there, one of the returning starters that played often last season. Haven't seen him start here as he strikes out in his first at-bat. He hit .337 last season with 21 RBIs. But he picks up a strikeout there in his first at-bat in this series. So Fonts back at the plate, as just mentioned, hit twice in his 2 at-bats. 0-1 the count. As he hits it right over to Evans, who makes the grab. Went right to him, and 2 quick outs for Perez Knowles. So Knowles comes to CSU from Troy University. He was last playing over at a D1 school, the lefty, now a junior. As he sends that pitch in and fouling it off his rave. Knowles came in for Troy in relief both of his seasons, originally out of Freeport, Bahamas. That pitch goes over the head there and behind Chris Rave. Knowles gives a little smile. Nothing intentional there, although if it was Fonts up at the plate, I think you might have seen a little more reaction, as Fonts has already been hit twice. So good thing it's Rave up there instead of Fonts. Knowles delivers the pitch right after and gets Rave looking. So 1-2 now the count. Rave off the end of his bat in foul territory. Knowles appeared in 17 games for Troy University, going 20 in a third inning while picking up 20 strikeouts. Good strikeout ratio, but sitting on that pitch outside, 2-2. Knowles really working fast out there on the mound in relief. Grounding that one out to Barry is Rave, and that'll do it for the top frame of the 5th. 3 up, 3 down. First time for Perez Knowles on the mound for the Cougars. 7-3, still a score. Back here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field on the campus of Columbus State University. 7-3 the score. Cougars coming back up to the plate. Perez Knowles, how about that? First appearance as a member of the Cougars. 1 inning, 3 batters faced, 3 sent down. Picked up a strikeout as well. Another pitching change for Erskine, though, as Ian Kimbrell comes into the game. We've got a pitching that's eerily similar to yesterday's for Erskine. Their starter after he was pulled, Heinzman came in for an inning, followed up by Kimbrell. And you've got your starter getting pulled, and Heinzman came in for an inning, and now Kimbrell yet again. So the exact same pitching changes as yesterday. McClellan fouling that one off. Kimbrell went an inning, gave up no hits, retired the side while striking one out. Picked up a couple of groundouts. Having to face McClellan, who already homered in yesterday's game, and hits a comebacker right up the gut. On the 0-1 pitch, McClellan takes first. And we've got a leadoff hit for the Cougars. So McClellan reaches base again, and Lake Hart will come up. He's already got a hit, a run, and an RBI. First pitch inside on Hart. On deck is Miles Cameron, who's got 2 hits and 2 runs. The 1-0 pitch, fouled off. Lefty Kimbrell delivers hard, sending that one into the gap. It's going to drop in center field. Going all the way over to third base is going to be McClellan, and taking second is Hart. A stand-up double, 2 on for the Cougars. All right, Miles Cameron, chance to hit an RBI here. He's 2 for 2 with 2 runs, but doesn't have any RBIs, and here's his opportunity. 1 hit, might plate 2. So Cameron at the plate. Heinzman came in, proceeded to give up a couple hits. Kimbrell has done the same. Back-to-back hits here given up by Kimbrell to lead off the bottom of the 5th. 2 on in scoring position for Cameron. Looks at a strike to start this at-bat. Cameron, freshman from LaGrange. Played over at Troop High School. 12 hits now for the Cougars. We're not even through 5. Swinging and missing at that one, and he's down in the count 0-2. (7-3). Cougars have also doubled up in the hits department, and swinging and missing right there was Cameron. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. So down goes Cameron, runner stranded on second and third, but just the first out of the inning, as Bryce Delavy will get a chance to knock them home now. It's Hart and McClellan on second and third, respectively. We saw Hart able to knock one home earlier today, hitting that double and picking up an RBI. He's got 2 on in scoring position. Off speed there. 0-1. That's something that happened yesterday, and that's actually one of the talking points that Greg Appleton talked about, was when runners are in scoring position, finding ways to plate them. And yesterday, Appleton mentioned that there was a couple times where we struck out. We weren't able to advance runners from second and third. And there's another opportunity that goes by the wayside as Delavie just sends that right over to Heiss. So back-to-back outs after back-to-back leadoff hits to start the inning. Well, if Vincent can't do any damage here, then I'm sure Appleton will mention that to us again in the post-game. Really stressing getting his hitters experience, but being able to plate them when they've got runners in scoring position, especially when there's no outs. I mean, even a ground out is a possible scoring opportunity, and you've got a strikeout and then a quick little flare sent to the shortstop. Vincent, though, has his opportunity. 1-0. Off speed, sent back, 1-1. Vincent, 2 RBIs today. Had one in yesterday's game as well. 3 RBIs through his first 2 games as a Cougar. Calls times, takes a step back, and resets. Vincent out of Wallace State Community College. One pitch, sent outside, gets past the catcher there. Racing home is McClellan. Over the third is Hart. Another run scores. 8-3 now. Cougars in front. Heads up play there by McClellan on third base to advance. Hart goes over to third now. So Cougars score one on the wild pitch. Hart now at third. Vincent, the 2-1 count. Low and outside, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Beautifully placed right there as that one just nibbled at the corner, coming back around. Full count now for Vincent. 2 down, runner on third. The payoff pitch, Vincent right up the middle, and charging in is the center fielder. It's going to drop in, a bloop single there for the Cougars. Another run scores. It's now 9-3. So Vincent coming through for Columbus State with a single. He's already got a double as well, and just adding to his early season performance here, and what a start it is for number 24. Meeting on the mound, and we'll have another pitching change. We'll take a break here on CSU TV, 9-3 in the bottom of the 5th. 9-3 now the score for Columbus State. They've scored 2 more here in the bottom of the 5th. Top of the lineup coming back around. Already for the 4th time this afternoon. 4th at bat now for Evans. Well, they eventually came through, scoring both of those 2 runners in scoring position after Erskine had picked up the 2 outs. 0-1 count on Evans. He's 2 for 3, or 1 for 3 that is, with 2 RBIs. And that ground out RBI as well. Swinging and missing at that one, down in an 0-2 hole. So Carpin on the mound right now as Evans fouls that one off. Another pitching change for Erskine, as Kimbrough wasn't even able to go a full inning. Carpin out of College of Charleston, a junior this season. The 0-2 pitch, outside, 1-2. Over on first is Turner Vincent, and what an afternoon he's had. Just like yesterday, and swinging and missing at that one is Evans, picking up another strikeout. It's the 5th Cougar strikeout of the afternoon. Erskine finally gets out of the 5th. Hasn't been kind for the past 3 innings to them. 9-3, Cougars in front after 5. Perez Noel still out there on the mound as he starts his 2nd inning of work for the Cougars. Did quick work in his previous inning in the 5th. 3 up, 3 down, picking up a strikeout. The transfer from Troy University starts off the top of the 6th. Early strike. Nine 3, Cougars in front. 1-1 the count. 3rd and final game of this series tomorrow afternoon at noon. It's a Saturday game. A lot of home games here at Columbus State University. As Knowles delivers a ball there, 2-1. Basketball doubleheader, softball doubleheader as well downtown. Got baseball in action. Plenty of venues to choose from for Columbus State University fans as that ball is hit into left center field for a leadoff single. Nichols on base for the 2nd time this afternoon. Ryan at the plate. Heiss, who hit the home run earlier, on deck. Our first chance to see Perez Knowles do some work with a runner on the base paths. So we'll see how he responds with The runner, Destin Nichols, over on first. Ryan looks at a strike, 1-1. Ryan the double in yesterday's loss, 2 homers in his first game against Voorhees. 6 total RBIs. Had a hit and a run in today's game as that one's popped up. Delavie giving chase to it, but it's going to get out of play. So he's been an early surprise for Erskine and one that we're sure Coach Kevin Nichols will be pleased about. Nichols in his 18th season at the helm of the Flying Fleet. 526 total wins. He's the 44th winningest active coach in Division II. One of the guys ahead of him, guy to your left, Greg Appleton. Winning percentage of .650 in his 20th season here at CSU as Knowles picks up the strikeout. Heiss back up for the 3rd time today. Hit a home run in his last at-bat. A 2-run home run in the top of the 4th. So Nichols at first. Heiss at the plate. Heiss hit that home run in the 4th inning off of Kaler. This time the lefty Knowles on the mound. 1-1. Inside 2-1. Knowles delivers, fouled off there. 2-2. Total hits in this one between the two teams. Whereas yesterday we just had 3 combined runs. There was 15 hits though, as that one goes into left field and it's going to drop right in front of Vincent. Wasn't able to get up underneath that one, and that'll be a single for Heiss. Heiss picking up his 2nd hit of the afternoon. Now runners on 1st and 2nd. Well, Greg Appleton was pleased with the pitching performance in yesterday's win, as Caleb Cucci went 8 innings deep. He wanted to pitch that 9th inning, wanted to get that shutout in that complete game, but Appleton brought in Ingram for the save. Now he's going to get a chance to look at his bullpen yet again in this one. Kaler only went 4 innings. Knowles 1 1/3, but he's in a little bit of trouble. Runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 down. Now a 1-1 count. Knowles, one of 2 Bahamas players on the team. Him and Jerry O'Raming. 1-1. Knowles delivers high, 2-1. Zach Miller at the plate right now for Erskine, the pinch hitter. 2-1 count, swinging and missing there. 2-2. A big miss there as Knowles is going to try and get him to strike out here. Miller, the junior, transfer out of Mercyhurst Northeast Community College, originally from Youngstown, Ohio. The 2-2 pitch. off the end of the bat, staying alive. Heiss on first, Nichols on second. Knowles taking his time, working out a little bit slower than he did in the previous inning. Check swing there. Full count. Knowles walked just a combined 8 batters in his 2 seasons with Troy. Payoff pitch. Inside. Oh, they're going to call it third strike there. I thought that might have missed the zone, but called third strike. And a second strikeout for Knowles. A desperately needed one there. His second one this inning gives him 3 overall, and Watts at the plate. See if Knowles can get out of here without giving up any runs. Outside there. You have an all-conference player at the plate right now in Watts. The junior out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Hit .380 with 39 runs and 23 RBIs last year for the Flying Fleet. 1-1. Watts, 2 on at the plate. 1 for 2 this afternoon with a ground out. Knowles delivers that one low. 2-1. Knowles, the pitch swinging and missing there on a high one. 2-2. One strike to go for Knowles to get out of this one. He has struck out 2 here, while also allowing 2 to reach the base paths. 2-2 count, 2 down, 2 on. Knowles outside, full count. Watts on the full count. Runners go, and he fouls that one off, and they'll have to come back. Knowles 1 2/3. This is 8th batter that he's faced here. .34th pitch coming up for Knowles. Delivers. Sending that one into the shortstop. Look at Evans making the grab, and it gets past the first baseman, McClellan, who can't dig it out. 1 run is going to score. Holding up on third base out there is Heiss, and advancing over to second is Watts. A cannon of an arm there by Evans, but low throw. McClellan can't dig it out, and 1 run crosses the plate. 9-4. That was deep in the hole, a hard play to make, regardless for Evans. So 9-4, and now 2 runners in scoring position. Chaz Davy, top of the lineup, coming back around for Erskine. The third baseman at the plate. Didn't go around on that one, 1-0. Davy has a double. His only hit of this afternoon. Knowles fouled right back. The run won't be credited to Knowles. We'll see if he can get out of here without giving up any earned runs. in his first appearance as a Cougar. Right now, the 1-1 pitch. Swinging and missing right there was Davey, 1-2. One and two the count, 2 down, 2 on. Knowles delivers and sending that one high. Gunnar Drennan fading over there in foul territory and just out of play. So no chance there to make the grab for Drennan. Remains 1-2. Gotta find a way to get this third and final out of Chaz Davey, the sophomore out of North Augusta, South Carolina. Was an all-conference player as a freshman last year for the Flying Fleet. Hit .355 to go along with 7 home runs. The 1-2 pitch. Again, this time he goes in the foul territory around the first baseline. Davey just hanging around here against Knowles. Davey played most of last season for the Flying Fleet. Only struck out 16 times last year. Hard to strike him out, and he rips one into deep left center field. That one is going to carry all the way out of here. A 3-run home run for Chaz Davey, his first of this season for the Flying Fleet. Well, Knowles was just 1 strike away from getting out of here, and first the error by Evans, and Knowles follows that up by giving up a home run, a 3-run home run to the Flying Fleet. Well, there's a reason he's an all-conference player, and he shows why there. Knowles stays out, and Fabrizio at the plate. Nine to 7 now, game on here at Burger King Stadium. It was just 9-3 a second ago, and if you blinked, it's all of a sudden 9-7. Again, those have got to be critical times where you've got to find a way to get that final strike. Just 1 strike away 2 times. Couldn't quite come up with it. Fabrizio down the third baseline, past the diving Drennan. That's going to be a chance for a double there as Fabrizio takes off for second, easily reaching there. Bullpen warming up for the Cougars. Knowles just can't quite get out of this inning. Boy, he was cruising, flying right along. And then he got himself into a little bit of trouble here. Picked up that critical strikeout. But since then, it's been all Erskine. Watts reaching on that throwing error. Davey homering. Fabrizio doubling down the line. Now a runner in scoring position for the all-conference and all-region player, Henry Fonts. Again, not the guy you want to have to pitch to here in this situation. Hanging on to a slim lead and a runner in scoring position. Fonts hasn't really had his opportunities because he was hit in his first 2 at-bats. This time around, he's got a chance. Runner on second. Knowles delivers. That one sent right back over to Evans. Bobbles it, picks it back up, sends it over the first in time. Fonts is down. Knowles gets out of it. But the Cougars lead trimmed all the way down to 2. It's now 9-7 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. 9-7 our score as we enter the bottom of the 6th inning. Same pitcher out there for Erskine, number 16, Skylar Henderson, out of Fort Worth, Texas, Vernon Community College. Gunnar Drennan at the plate. Well, the lead trimmed all the way down to 2 as the Flying Fleet send home 4 runs. That pitch outside from Henderson. Menchaca in at second base. One change there to make note of. Menchaca over on second base for Erskine. He started the game yesterday. Sat out as Ruby, the freshman, started today. The 1-1 pitch. Drennan pops that one up. And out of play. So Knowles eventually got out of that inning. No runs will be credited to him, though 4 did cross the plate. The error from Evans would have been the 3rd and final out. 1-2 count. Drennan lifts that one into left field, but a little too hard there as it goes right to Billy Ryan. Ryan was up far enough on that one. Wasn't able to drop in. Victor back at the plate, 1 for 3 today. But really, most of the damage has been done in your 4 through 9 hitters for the Cougars. 1 through 4, you're looking at 3 combined total hits, and then the 5 through 9 hole, every single batter has 2 hits. Right now, Victor, 1-0 count, shows bunt, lays off, 2-0. Seen the Cougars reach on a couple of bunts earlier in this one. Now 3-0. See if Victor has the green light, takes a ball right there, walks on down to first base. There's a runner again on the base paths for the Cougars. So Victor over on first. Victor's got some speed as well. Led the team in stolen bases last year with 20. Barry looks at a ball. It's 5 straight balls thrown in there by Henderson. And right on cue, pitching coach comes on out, Nathan Kilcrease. Kilcrease, as mentioned, former Alabama star pitcher for the Tide. Was an assistant for them past couple of seasons. First year here at Erskine. Barry struck out in his last at bat. Right now he's got Victor over on first base. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Pitch sent in. Barry swinging and missing at that one. 1-1. So there's the strike that Henderson needed. Would have been a ball had Barry laid off. Henderson, just 5'11", 175, a small guy out there on the mound. Uses all that mound height to try and add to it. 1-2. Throw back over the first, trying to keep Victor close to that bag. 23 combined hits between these two teams. just in the bottom of the 6th. This one not quite flying through like it did yesterday. Almost reaching the 2-hour mark here in a few minutes. The 2-2 pitch inside on Barry, full count. Barry brushed off the plate there, and now the payoff pitch, a chance for the Cougars to get a couple on the base paths. Full count. There goes Victor. Barry lifts one into center field there. Tracking it back is Chase Watts all the way back at the warning track, and now Victor will have to retreat back to first base. Again, ball not quite carrying like it did yesterday. It's heavy air, cooler temperature out there. Almost 20 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. No chance at that one to leave the park. Victor back at first, 2 down, and McClellan at the plate. Now's where we're getting into the heart of the lineup, where all of our hitters have been each picking up 2 hits. McClellan, Hart, Cameron, Delavy, Vincent, all 2 for 3 on the afternoon. First pitch, strike. Henderson in his first season here with Erskine. Transferring down from the JUCO level. Transferring up from Vernon Community College. Right now it's a 1-1 count to McClellan. 2 down, and the Cougars holding on to that slim 2-run lead. Pitch high, 2-1. See the wind just swirling around out there in the outfield as the flags are blowing around. Went right to left, and now it's going left to right. Victor on first, 3-1 count, sitting on that one, and it just hits the zone. Full count again. Back-to-back full counts here. Henderson picking up his pitch count here in the bottom of the 6th. The payoff pitch, missing that one, but sending it foul was McClellan. Full count. The junior at the plate. McClellan transferring up here from Charleston Southern. His first season. His cousin as well, Patrick McClellan, up here as well, out of Lake Sumter. They both played together as freshmen. McClellan swinging and missing on that one, and he goes down on strikes. Cougars lead remains 2 after 6. Top of the 7th here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. Another pitching change. It's time for the Cougars. Jalen Latta coming in for the Cougars. For our hometown fans here in Columbus, Georgia, Jalen Latta, that's where he's from. Pitched just right down the road at Northside High. So the lefty getting his first appearance at the collegiate level. Latta 6'1", 180. Fresh out of high school. The 1-0 pitch, 1-1. So Perez Knowles, his afternoon is complete. We went Kaler, then Knowles, and now Latta's up there right now. 7 total runs have been given up, 3 by Kaler. None were earned to Knowles, although 4 did come across. Right now, Latta starting things off to begin his collegiate career. Right now it's a 3-1 count to Rave. Lefty on lefty as that ball's hit right over to Barry. Easy out. Rave sent down. Nichols coming up. Ryan on deck. Cougars took 2 of 3 against Erskine last year to start the season. And a win right here would at least, they'd be able to at least match that. Third game again tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, we've got a close one here. Don't go anywhere. 9-7 the score. 1-1 the count to the senior out of Tampa. Latta's been throwing some fastballs there as that one is hit out to center field. Fichter comes up and makes the grab. 2 quick outs. Ground out, fly out. Latta doing work in his first appearance. Well, here's a good test for him as Billy Ryan steps up to the plate. 6'2" outfielder out of Inman, South Carolina. He's got some pop to him as he sends that one behind the backstop. The 0-1 pitch. Delivered in for a strike. 0-2. Attacking that strike zone is Latta. He's ahead in the count right now. Chance to go 3 up, 3 down. 0-2 pitch, 2 down, no one on. That one high, 1-2. Latta delivers, and just foul tipping that one is Ryan. Still 1-2. Swinging and missing right there is Ryan. Latta sends him down. The freshman coming through for the Cougars. 9-7. Let's stretch it out. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Here we go to the bottom of the 7th. Cougars still on top by 2, 9-7. Great start to his freshman year for Jalen Lotta. Picking up 3 quick outs for the Cougars on the mound. He also got a strikeout there to end the inning. The hometown hero coming through for Columbus State as Hart grounds out right back to the pitcher. So Hart goes down to start the bottom of the 7th. See if the Cougars can try and find a way to get a little bit of some run support here, as their lead has been trimmed down to 2. (37-16) overall last season. Erskine, one of their best seasons in program history. First time they came away with a regular season Conference Carolinas title. Right now, the Cougars have the lead. It's a 1-1 count here to Miles Cameron. Well, we're in the heart of the lineup where the Cougars all have 2 hits. Cameron, 2 for 3, 2 runs. One of them a double. Looks at a strike there, 1-2. The delivery, off speed, high, 2-2. So Henderson still out there for Erskine. Just outside, full count. Henderson, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Hasn't given up a hit so far. Cameron fouls that one back. Full count, no one on. Cameron at the plate, swinging and missing at that one, out of the zone. And he's sent down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Henderson. Came in for Kimbrell to help get him out of the jam. He's now gone 2 full innings. 6 straight retired for Henderson. Delavy, 2 for 3, with an RBI and a run. Hits a comebacker right up the gut. And there's a runner on the base paths for the Cougars. First one in 7 straight batters. Delavy on first. Cougars finally pick up a hit. And coach coming out to have a word with Henderson as his afternoon may be complete as well. Can't be upset with his performance. A great job from Henderson coming out of the bullpen, going 2 full innings, giving up just that 1 hit, walking 1 while striking out 3. New pitcher coming in, bottom of the 7th. We'll see Turner Vincent at the plate when we come back. New pitcher on the mound for the Flying Fleet. Number 14, Zach Carter, a freshman. Lefty out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. You've got a couple of Rock Hill High School players out there for the Flying Fleet. One of the other pitchers, we haven't seen him quite yet, Isaac Rogers, a sophomore, also went to Rock Hill High School. And you got Chase Watts as well. You have a junior, a sophomore, and a freshman out there from Rock Hill. All different years, but here they all are finding themselves together for the Flying Fleet of Erskine. Turner Vincent at the plate. Get used to his name. What a performance he's had this season in just 2 games. Had the home run yesterday. He's picked up 3 more RBIs this afternoon, and he's got Delavy over on first. So they bring in the lefty to face Vincent, and taking off and thrown out is Delavy, and Vincent will have to wait his time as he'll have to lead off the 8th. Delavy gets thrown out, attempting to take second. That's a 3rd and final out. Not much work having to be done there by the relief pitcher. We'll take a break. End of 7, 9-7 your score. Here we go to the top of the 8th at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field on the campus of Columbus State University. Corey Aldis with you here. 9-7 our score. Cougars are on top of the Flying Fleet. And still out there to start his 2nd inning of work, Jalen Lotta, the hometown player, right here, born and bred from Columbus, Georgia. Out of Northside High, right down the road. Heiss back up at the plate, swinging and missing on that first pitch. Heiss with the home run earlier in this one. It gave Erskine the lead. They were up 3-1 before the Cougars responded. 2 for 2, 2 runs, 2 RBIs for Heiss. And just like the reliever Knowles, Lotta working fast on the mound. Already a 1-2 count. Delivers, staying alive. One and two, outside, 2-2. 24 combined hits between these two today and 16 runs. It's been a night and day difference from yesterday's 3-0 shutout as Heiss pops that one up. Evans will get underneath it, and 1 down to start the 8th. Yeah, Coochie yesterday, what a performance. A one that Coach Appleton was very pleased about. Went 8 strong, giving up only 4 hits, 6 strikeouts. He only faced 28 total batters in his 8 innings of work. Just a dominant performance. Then you follow that up with your all-conference player, Colt Kaler, who not quite the same performance, but still left with a lead. The opportunity for the Cougars to maintain that. Right now it's Rodney O'Neill at the plate. O'Neill came in, had one at bat in yesterday's loss as a pinch hitter. He got on base with a single. Lotta, little high, 2-1. So Rodney O'Neill, the senior out of Dublin, Georgia, transferred down to Erskine 2 years ago. He's originally from Middle Tennessee State. Three and one the count. One down, no one on. Full count. Five outs away from extending their win streak here to start the year, 2-0. Be a nice back-to-back win against a reigning conference champion. Called third strike. O'Neill sits down. Lotta, another strikeout. Two down, Watts up at the plate. Lotta's already faced 5 batters, sent them all down, picking up a couple strikeouts. A very positive performance, one that Appleton will be very pleased about. That one hit past the diving Drennan. It's the second time that ball has just gotten past him, and now advancing all the way over to second base is Watts. Right down that third base line. A 2-out double for the Flying Fleet. Well, an opportunity to see how Lotta does with a runner in scoring position. Sure, you don't want to see him get in that position, but why not see how he responds? Chance for the freshman to come through in the clutch here. You're hanging on to a slim 2-run lead, and you're straight out of high school, and you've got a runner in scoring position and an all-conference player at the plate. Chance to see what Lotta's made of here. Davey, 3 for 4, 2 for 4 that is, on the afternoon. He's got 3 RBIs. He hit one of those home runs. That was the 3-run home run against Knowles. That cut the lead all the way down to 2. He currently is the tying run at the plate. Second home run here would tie this one up. Two and one the count. Lotta delivers. 2-2. Here we go again with the Cougars. One strike away from getting out of this inning. Two count. 2 down and a 2-run lead for the Cougars. Lotta delivers, ripping that one into the gap. That's going to drop in for a double. This lead is going to be cut down to 1. Erskine coming all the way back from a 9-3 deficit, and the catalyst for it is that guy standing on second. Now 4 RBIs for Davey in his last 2 at-bats. Lead cut in half down to 1. 9-8 the score. And once again, the Cougars were just one strike away from ending the inning. That's twice now that the Cougars in back-to-back, well, in the 6th inning that is, and then again here in the 8th where they've been one strike away and have given up an RBI hit. So right now, Fabrizio at the plate. Got to deal with Fabrizio, and then you have the all-region player on deck. If Fabrizio gets on base, we'll see if Appleton will make a change instead of letting Lotta go against Fonts. Let's not worry about that. Fabrizio, with a 1-1 count, sends that one into center field. Fichter is there for the 3rd and final out. There we go. So the lead still remains. It is a slim 1-run lead, but it's still a lead nonetheless. We head to the bottom of the 8th. We'll see if the Cougars can pick up insurance. To the bottom of the 8th we go. 1-run lead for your Cougars. Well, this was the matchup that they brought Zach Carter in last inning before Delavie was thrown out at second. They wanted that lefty on lefty action, and they're going to get it. Vincent shows bunt, strike called to start this at-bat. So Vincent having another fantastic performance here for the Cougars. 2 for 3, 3 RBIs, a run. One of those hits a double. Strike called on the outside there. An 0-2 quick hole for Vincent. Carter, the lefty, deals it. That one outside, 1-2. Top of the lineup on deck for the Cougars. Another ball called as Vincent stays alive, so it gets back to even count. Vincent fouls that one back. Well, slowly that 9-3 lead has diminished for the Cougars. 4 runs in the 6th. Another one there in the 8th. And it's now a 1-run lead. 3 more outs to go, and the Cougars will be facing the heart of the lineup in the top of the 9th. That's all right. See if they can add a little bit of insurance here. Vincent at the plate. The 2-2 pitch. Looks at a low ball, full count. What an at-bat by Vincent to fight back in the count. Vincent was down 0-2. He's got it all the way back at a full count. The payoff pitch. Vincent past the pitcher, but the second baseman, new second baseman that is, Silas, comes in and makes the out to first. So Silas came in for Menchaca, who originally came in for Ruby.
The shortstop.
Vincent goes down on the ground out, and we got the top of the lineup back around. Justin Evans at the plate. He's got a couple RBIs today. Can he try and add to his performance? Lays down a bunt. The speedster racing down the first. Pitcher comes up, makes the throw over, and he got Evans in time. Sure did. Got him by a full step there as Evans was out at first, trying to surprise him with a bunt. That worked twice earlier in today's game, but Zach Carter, I'm sure, was informed of it and was ready that time around to get Evans out at first. Doesn't work the third time for the Cougars. 2 quick outs. Bullpen warming up. Ingram and Hayes are out there for the Cougars. Ingram picked up the save in yesterday's game. Put a few runners on base, though. It's just his second save for the Cougars. He had just one last year. Drennan flies that one over to the right fielder, and underneath it is Wood for the third and final out. Here we go. 1-run lead. We'll get a save opportunity for the Cougars coming up in the top frame of the ninth. To the top of the ninth we go here at Burger King Stadium at Ragsdale Field. Corey Aldis here as the Cougars try and improve their record to 2-0 to start the season. Here comes Colton Ingram into the game for the Cougars. We saw him come in yesterday's game as Appleton and the Cougars handed over a 3-run lead to Ingram. This time around, they'll hand over just a 1-run lead, and his first batter that he'll have to face is the All-Region player Fonts. Ingram, a tough inning ahead, and we'll see what he can do for the Cougars as they have a 1-run lead. Ingram gave up a single to start his inning yesterday, a single to O'Neill, but he did face Fonts and got him to strike out. 2-0 the count to start this at-bat, now 3-0. 2 runners made the base paths for the Flying Fleet in yesterday's 9th inning against Ingram, and he starts with a 4-pitch walk. So Fonts walks, he takes first, and Rave is at the plate. Ingram faced Rave in yesterday's game, actually hit him, which put Rave on first, moving O'Neill to second. So Appleton giving Ingram a chance to face the same heart of the lineup, just like he did yesterday. Maxey over there now pinch running for the Flying Fleet. Only down a run. They put the speed on the base paths as Fonts takes a seat. Want to know the count. 5 straight balls from Ingram to start his 9th. That one is crushed into a left field, but not far enough as it hung up there. And able to get the out right there is Vincent. Boy, it looked like that one might carry, but not today. And Vincent was right there in front of the warning track.
The catcher, Dustin Nichols.
A lot of bat there by Rave, but not quite enough. Nichols at the plate now. So Maxey stays at first as the sun is shining now here on the field. Where was this all game? Came out in the perfect time, though, I guess, with Ingram looking for the save opportunity. Let's pick it up. Ingram delivers. Another ball. So Nichols flat out to right field against Ingram yesterday. He's up there again with Maxey on the base paths, just like yesterday. Ingram with 6 balls already and has picked up the fly out. There's a 7th ball for his afternoon. 2-0 count. The 2-0 pitch. Low again, 3-0. Another hole for Colton Ingram. Again, he showed great poise out there yesterday when he put 2 on and eventually picked up back-to-back outs to get the save. He had a 3-run lead that time around. This time only a 1-run lead, but delivers a strike there. Nichols at the plate, 3-1 count, just outside. Ingram doesn't like it, and Nichols walks down to first. So the senior catcher for the Flying Fleet takes his base. Delavie has a word with Ingram, and Ryan is now at the plate. Coach Appleton going out to have a word with Ingram. Everyone coming in there for the meeting on the mound. 2 runners on, just 1 out. Seen the Cougars turn 1 double play today. They had one yesterday as well. This time they're in a little bit of trouble and could desperately use one. Ryan at the plate. You don't want to get to Heiss, the shortstop who's on deck. He's been the hot hitter today alongside Davey. So if you can find a way to turn that double play to end this game. Ryan just 1 for 4 today with a couple of strikeouts. Nichols on first, Maxey on second, a 1-run lead. Ingram against Ryan. First pitch, another ball. He's already thrown 10 balls this top of the 9th. One 0 count. Fouling that one back. 1-1. to an even count here. 2 on the base paths. Look at Barry slide over a little closer to second base. 1-0 the count. Goes back. Chopper over to third base, but that's foul. No play needed there. 1-2. Cougar pitchers have struck out 5 Flying Fleet batters this afternoon. Let's see if they can get a 6th right here. 1-2 count. Ryan's got 2 of those strikeouts himself, and he's at the plate right now. Down in the count. Ingram delivers. Swinging and missing there was Ryan. A much-needed strikeout. The poise and the delivery there from Ingram. 2 down. 1 more to go. Well, here's one of the hot hitters of the afternoon for the Flying Fleet. 2 for 3 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs, including a home run for Heiss. And he's at the plate right now. Down 1 run with 2 down and 2 on. Ingram delivers. First pitch ball. He's had that first pitch ball every batter that he's faced so far here in the top of the 9th. One 0 count. 1 out away from picking up the win. That one high. 2-0. Why not make things a little bit interesting here? That's what Appleton said after the game yesterday. Wouldn't be a game here unless we made things interesting. And there we're going again. That one is skied high. Catcher Delavy giving chase. Now the first baseman McClellan coming up with a grab. Falling down to his feet, and how about that? Mason McClellan, the 3rd and final out to end this one. A 9-8 win. Cougars coming away just barely. Colton Ingram picking up the save yet again. Great performance all around for the Cougars. It was their 5 through 9 hitters which really turned it on. At least 2 hits apiece for all of them, with Vincent going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Hart 2 for 4 as well, as Miles Cameron with 2 runs each. On top of that, Mason McClellan. So a great performance from everyone out there this afternoon. Cougars take this one 9-8, another victory as they improve to 2-0 on the season. Make sure you catch the game tomorrow at the ballpark, starting at noon, the 3rd and final game of the series as the Cougars look to sweep the series against Erskine. For everyone here at the ballpark, Stephen Williams, Josh Fowler, I'm Corey Aldis. Your final here, Columbus State comes away with the 9-8 win over Erskine.